Okay, the next thing to do is you're going to create between the text, your information, and the sketches we're going to do, we're going to create a 4 centimeter or 40 millimeter gap. So if you want to, very lightly again, mark at the top, mark at the bottom, 40 millimeters, and very lightly draw a line all the way down. And in that space, you're going to stick your images to accompany your information. Remember to try and put the images close to the information that it is illustrating. So in this case, the IKEA building is next to where we're talking about IKEA, and the Pohang chair is next to where we're talking about the Pohang chair, flat pack, the Bauhaus, the plywood layers, and finally the lamination process as well, which is what those images represent. Also, if you want to, before you glue down your images, is to rub out the pencil line so you get a nice clean side of the page there, ready for the sketches. So now we're ready to sketch some ideas. So if you go to the blog and have a look at make sure you read the information there, and have a look at the examples of the passive amplifiers that have been made previously, you will see that there are a range of different shapes that students have decided to make their passive amplifiers to shape them into. So on this side of the page, we're just going to have a go sketching some ideas, and you should end up with something that looks like this. So we're going to do 9 initial ideas, and we're going to do 1 final idea, and we're either going to do that in oblique, which is a little bit easier, or we're going to do that in isometric, it's a little bit harder. So first of all, we're going to start with the initial ideas. So first of all, I'm going to draw myself a title, and the title is Passive Amp Ideas. I'm going to do that before I start drawing, so I'll make sure I've got space for that. So Passive Amp Ideas, nice and neat. And then what we're going to do with the pencil and the ruler is just plan out the space in between the ideas. We're going to do this to scale. The passive amp is 120 millimeters in length and 100 millimeters in height, in width. So we're going to do this at a scale of 1 to 3. So each rectangle that we're going to draw in is going to be 1 to 4 is going to be 3 centimeters by 2.5. So 1, 2, 25. So that's 30 by 25. And each idea we're going to have about a centimeter gap in between each one. So with my ruler, I'm going to draw a line 0 to 30, a line from 40 to 70, and a line from 80 to 110. And we end up with 3 lines there. I'm going to measure down 25 millimeters on one side, and I'm going to measure 25 millimeters down on the next side. There you go. And then I'm going to put my ruler at the bottom of each of those lines, and again, so 30, 40 to 70, 80 to 110, or 11 centimeters. And then all I have to do is join up the other sides of the boxes, and there we go. So I've got 3 boxes spaced evenly apart. I'm going to repeat that downwards. So between my bottom of this box, I'm going to draw another line centimeter away, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So you can see I've drawn a line here. and then across the page, make sure you try and keep your ruler nice and straight. Again, 0 to 3, 4 to 7, and 8 to 11 centimetres between each line. I'm going to put my ruler against that edge there and measure down 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So basically you're drawing 9 boxes that are 3 centimetres by 2.5 centimetres, 30 millimetres by 25. There we go. And my last line of ideas, again, put my ruler down the left hand side, measure a centimetre down from the box, from to below the box, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Put a line all the way across, so 0 to 3, 4 to 7, 8 to 11, and then I measure down this side, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then same again, 0 to 3, 4 to 7, and 8 to 11, and the last thing to do is just join the end of those lines up, make sure they are in line with each other, and there we go. So we have a grid of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rectangles. So inside those rectangles we're going to have a go drawing some ideas. Now first of all we're going to draw the hole for the speaker. Now you don't have to decide this now, but we're going to do some ideas that have a hole in the center, and we're going to do some ideas that have 2 holes. So this is basically the speaker hole, the hole that the sound will come out of from your phone speaker. So your phone will go into the top of the passive amplifier here, and the sound will come out of the hole. Make sure you read the information on the blog. So this circle is 10 millimeters in diameter, and it's about 5 millimeters from the bottom of the passive amp. So what I'm going to do is just put my ruler on the bottom of the first box on 5 and mark off 5 millimeters, and then I'm going to put my ruler again on that hole there. Let me just measure that, just less than, so it's actually about 6, 7, it's actually 7 millimeters, about 7 millimeters in diameter, and then I'm going to draw a circle in the center of the box. So do that again, about 5 millimeters up from the bottom, and then 7 millimeters from that mark upwards, and then use that as a guide to draw that hole in the center. Now once you've got a good idea of the position of that, we can repeat that on a few of the ideas. And some of the other ideas, I'm going to draw 2 circles for 2 speakers, again about 5 millimeters from the bottom and 5 millimeters from the side on each one. Obviously you can erase it and have another go if you're not happy with what you've got. And I'm going to do one in the center for the last one there. So you can do those in any combination, completely up to you. You don't have to do them all at once, you can do them one by one. That's just the way I've chosen to do it. Now I'm going to shape these ideas. So the first idea, all I'm going to do is round off the top. Now the shape it needs to be within 5 millimeters of the edge. So you can, if you measure from the corner there in 5 millimeters and from the corner there in 5 millimeters, so you've measured from each corner 5 millimeters, then that's as far in that you can go. So for that idea, if I want to have a kind of line coming in from at an angle from top to bottom, or the angle from bottom to top like that, then I can go no more than 5 millimeters from the edge. Again, once you get the idea of what 5 millimeters looks like, you can then start to sketch away. This one, I'm going to round it and then cut into it. This one is going to go up past the speakers and then come in. This one is going to start straight and then curve down. This one is going to be curved at the bottom, and then just a corner taken off at the top. And then this one, I'm going to take off each corner. Creates a kind of a hexagon shape. You can see these more clearly when I go over them in pen. So the next stage, once I've done that in pencil, I'm going to go over those with my pen. So I'm doing this freehand now. So I'm outlining it in the black pen. Makes it really pop out. You can start to see that. You can obviously go to the blog and have a look at my completed example to help you. Okay, so I'm going over them freehand, obviously being careful. Nice smooth line, as straight as I can. Turn the page if it helps to get a straighter line. But they're quite quick. Don't want to spend too long on these. These are just your kind of initial ideas. I'm quite pleased with these shapes. Everyone's different. Some are similar. There we go. There we go. Just need to go over the speaker holes in this one. And there we have it. And the next stage is then to outline these. So thick black rough line all the way around the outside. You do not go over the speakers again, they stay as a thin line. So only a thick black rough line all the way around the edges of those ideas. So you don't touch the speakers, the speaker holes, they stay as a thin black line. You can see, outlining is supposed to be quick, it's supposed to be rough. Thick line there like that. There we go. Last one. And you can see that outlining technique, as usual, really makes those ideas pop out from the page. And the last thing I'm going to do on those ideas is to add a background. So just make sure your pencil is sharp when you do this. And the backgrounds are going to be rectangles on the corner of the shape. Now before I do that, I'm actually going to raise my pencil lines. Make sure your pen is dry before you do that. So make sure your pen isn't still wet on the page, because obviously you're going to smudge. I'm getting a couple of smudges here. Make sure you erase all the pencil lines. When you're happy with that, draw in your backgrounds. So the backgrounds in this case are going to be on the right hand side of every image and kind of sit behind the right hand corner of the idea, like so. And you should end up with, obviously, there's something that looks like this. Next video, I'm going to show you how to do the 3D rendered drawing sketch of the passive amplifier.